Hello students, good morning. I welcome you all to your English class. And the lecture what we have picked for today is from your supplementary reader book Beehive. Lesson number 2, The Sound of Music, Part 2, Ustad Bismillah Khan. The Sound of Music, actually this particular chapter is about two music personalities. It has information, facts and details of the lives of two music personalities. One is the percussionist Evelyn Glenn that we have covered in part 1 of this video. So if you have not seen it yet, kindly go back to my channel and read the chapter on Evelyn Glenn in part 1 of this video. This is part 2 in which we are going to talk about Ustad Bismillah Khan, his life story, the details about his life. Okay. As we all know, Ustad Bismillah Khan, the famous Shehnai player. We think of Shehnai, the very first thing comes in our mind is wedding or similar occasion or functions, right? Wedding is quite an exotic, you say very much popular music instrument that is used in really at you say bigger occasions, some royal occasions. Each royal occasion or any occasion, big occasion, is incomplete without the tunes of Shehnai. The second thing which comes to mind when we think of Shehnai is obviously about Ustad Bismillah Khan. Ustad Bismillah Khan and Shehnai, these two things cannot be separated, right? Ustad Bismillah Khan was a Shehnai master, and you can see in the picture he is playing his Shehnai. So in this chapter we'll read about how Ustad Bismillah Khan, how he got his interest in Shehnai playing, whether he had already access to this particular instrument or Shehnai was already the instrument existing, or how it originated. Everything is there in this chapter all about Shehnai and Ustad Bismillah Khan. Let's see. Okay. So I hope by now you people have books with you, but if you do not have, you can zoom the screen up here and can read the chapter here. I'll read and will explain you. The meanings are written in green boxes. You do not have to necessarily copy all these meanings in your fair copy. You can just keep it for reference. But if you wish, you may always underline in your books and can write the meanings there. Okay, so let's start. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. Now see here, we are talking about Emperor Aurangzeb. It is set in earlier times, where he banned one instrument called as pungi. Why did he ban pungi? Because it had what? Shrill, very shrilly noise, unpleasant noise. So it became generic name. Generic name means a name that is given to a particular group or a class. For reeded noisemaker, reeded means wind instrument flute or clarinet, anything wind instrument which requires what? Wind to produce sound. So pungi became the generic name for those reeded noisemakers. Noisemakers means unpleasant sound, the one who would produce unpleasant sound. So pungi was really banned. Anyway, few had thought it would one day be revived. Revived means come back to life. Revived means come back to life, or come back to life in a absolutely newer way. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal place decided to improve the tonal quality of pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer, see here, and broader than the pungi, and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. See here, this is pungi. This particular instrument is pungi, which was banned in the court, and one barber of a family, barber of royal family, actually decided to improve the tonal quality, sound quality of this particular instrument. So what did he do? He changed the structure of this pungi, and he took what? A hollow stem, longer hollow stem that was little longer and broader than this pungi, and he made what? 7 holes into this. When he played this, closing and opening some of the holes, very soft and melodious sounds were produced. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. This particular barber, when played this instrument Shehnai, Actually, how did this instrument got its name Shehnai is in the next part. So when he played this new instrument, everybody was very much impressed with the sound, melodious sound it produced. So the instrument was so different from this pungi, so obviously it had to be given with what? A new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chambers and was placed by a Nai, Nai is a Hindi word for barber. The instrument was named Shehnai. Okay, got it? How this instrument Shehnai got its name? Shehnai because Sheh comes from Shah, as it was first placed in Shah's chambers, his royal court, and it was played by a Nai. Nai is a word for barber. That is why it got its name as Shehnai. Okay, so it was in Aurangzeb's royal place where this instrument got its name. Anyway, let's see how Ustad Bismillah Khan here comes in the picture. Anyway, the sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious, and for this reason it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. In the past, the Shehnai was part of Naubat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Okay, so this particular paragraph is talking about what? That this instrument was like played always on the auspicious occasions and in auspicious places like temples or in weddings. And this instrument was also one of the 9 special instruments, which were played on in the royal court. And before the time, you say in earlier time, it was only played in temples and weddings. And who brought it to the classical stage? Who brought it to the international stage? The credit goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Let's see here. As a 5-year-old, like when Bismillah Khan ji was 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dumrao in Bihar. Check with this, Dumrao in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihari Ji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago from today, and the little boy has travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. Okay, we are talking about Ustad Bismillah Khan, who received what? Highest civilian award that is given in India is what? Bharat Ratna. He is the recipient of highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna. Check here, when he was just 5-year-old, he would go to where he used to live in Dumrao in Bihar. Dumrao is in Bihar. He would go to Bihari Ji temple. He would sing Bhojpuri Chaita. See, Ustad Bismillah Khan, a Muslim boy, would go to temple, Bihari Ji temple, and would sing Bhojpuri Chaita. And he would sing for what? He would sing for this big prize. Big prize was what? A laddu, a big laddu weighing what? 1.25 kg. So this is what childhood of our music or Shehnai master, Ustad Bismillah Khan. This was his childhood. Check here. Born on 21st March 1916. Kindly note the date. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah belonged to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather Rasool Bakhsh Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpuri King's Court. His father Paigambar Bakhsh and the paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. Check here, not only Ustad Bismillah Khan, but actually this instrument is played in his family. This music runs in his family. See here, we talk about his grandfather Rasool Bakhsh Khan. Then not only his grandfather, but also his father Paigambar Bakhsh. They were great Shehnai players who used to sing for what? Royalties. Okay. See here the meanings, you can check here. Okay, you may note these meanings if you wish. Okay, let's check with the next page. I hope you can see. If you cannot, please zoom the page. Anyway, the young boy here is who? Young boy here is Bismillah Khan. Okay, The young boy took to music early in life. Obviously, the music was played in his family, it was in his blood and soul. So, he took the music early in his life only. At the age of just 3, when his mother took him to maternal uncle's house in Benares. Benares now is called as what? The new name of Benares is Varanasi. Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practicing the Shehnai. Soon, Bismillah also started accompanying his uncle Ali Baksh to the Vishnu temple of Benares, where Baksh was employed to play the Shehnai. Okay, when he was very young, he would see his family members playing Shehnai for the royalties. So he started accompanying his uncle Ali Baksh to the Vishnu temple of Benares, now Varanasi. Ali Baksh would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours. Check here the word captivated. Captivated means mesmerized, completely engrossed, lost, in the melody of the music of Shehnai. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing through the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Manglamaya. Check with the name of the temples, first temple, then Vishnu temple. Earlier it was Bihariji temple, now Balaji and Manglamaya. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Manglamaya and the banks of Ganga became young apprentice's favorite haunts, where he could practice in solitude. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of Shehnai. So, okay, from where he got his inspiration? Obviously, Shehnai was played in his family, so music was in his blood and soul. But later later on, so many things were waiting for this little boy, Ustad Bismillah Khan. He would sit at the banks of Balaji temple. He would sit at the banks of river Ganga. He would go to temple of Balaji and Manglamaya. And this particular places were what? Favorite haunts of young apprentice. Young apprentice means the young boy, the young person who is trying for something new. Haunts means place, favorite place, where he could practice in solitude. Now, solitude is what? Alone, all by himself. Pleasure in being by himself. Anyway, the flowing waters of Ganga inspired him. Check here. What is his inspiration? The flowing waters of Ganga, where he would sit and invent new ragas that were played on Shehnai. So it was at the banks of river Ganga that he invented or he experimented with many new music tunes and ragas. Okay. Let's see what happened when he came at the age of 14. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to Allahabad Music Conference. Check here. This one is an important part. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boys. Young boy here is Ustad Bismillah Khan and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." With the opening of All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. This one is important question from examination point of view. Check. Bismillah Khan's big break. It was when he got a chance to sing for All India Radio in 1938 in Lucknow. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. Often heard means very popular. See here, let's continue. When India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. He poured his heart out into Rag Kafi, check here, from the Red Fort to an audience which included Mahatma Gandhi and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave him famous Tryst with Destiny speech. So, okay, we all know 15th August Red Fort is famous for what? The first independent India's speech. The first speech of independent India by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Tryst with Destiny. We all know this, right? You may check this Tryst with Destiny speech of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru on internet also. Just for the information that yes, we know. Anyway, many of you might have tried this in your competitions also. Anyway, see here. So not only that Tryst with Destiny speech was famous thing, it was a big break for, not big break, actually it was a very big thing for Bismillah Khan ji also, because he was the only musician, He became the first Indian actually to greet the nation with his Shehnai. It was he who played his Shehnai from Red Fort. So he became the first Indian to greet independent India in 1947. Anyway, Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad, check here, was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so taken in by the Mastero that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. The King of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated with Bismillah's music. In fact, film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah play at a festival that he named a film after instrument called Goonj Uthi Shehnai. You can actually check on internet Goonj Uthi Shehnai. There is a film by Vikram Bhatt with the name Goonj Uthi Shehnai. Actually, this name, the inspiration of this name, movie name Goonj Uthi Shehnai, came from whom? Bismillah Khan. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed with this man. Anyway, the film was a hit, and one of Bismillah Khan composition, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. There is a song, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. You can check on the song list also. You can play the song and listen. That was whose composition? Bismillah Khan's composition. This particular song composition, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster. Nationwide chartbuster means very popular. It became a hit song. Anyway, despite this huge success of celluloid word, check here, celluloid. Celluloid is old-fashioned way of referring to films, old-fashioned films. Bismillah Khan's ventures in film music were only limited to two. Only two films that he gave his music for. One was Goonj Uthi Shehnai of Vijay Bhatt, and next movie was Vikram Srinivasan Kannad venture, Kannad project. Venture means project. Sanadhi Apanna. So Bismillah Khan ji gave music only for two films. His Bollywood career was limited to two films only. Now let's see why he did not go for movie. What he says? He says, I just can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world. What he says, that film world is artificial world, glamour world, and I cannot adjust to that. I cannot come to terms with those artificiality and glamour of the film world. So he left that and he continued what with his music passion on what? Classical stages, that is national and international levels. We are coming towards the end. Now see here, awards and recognitions. Awards and recognition came thick and fast. What do you mean by thick and fast? Means many in number, and back to back. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the, check here, he became the first Indian, another record on his name, to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal, in the Cannes Art Festival, and in Osaka Trade Fair. So well known did he become internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him. Tahir Mozik, Ustad Bismillah Khan. So Ustad Bismillah Khan got India's name, recognized worldwide. Not only he became first Indian to perform at Lincoln Center Hall in USA, also he took part in Cannes Art Festival, Osaka Trade Fair. In fact, he had an auditorium in Tehran named after him. We have streets named after him, streets named after many good people in India. So here he took India at an international level, where he has an auditorium in Tehran with his name named after him, and the name is Tahir Mozik Ustad Bismillah Khan. Anyway, national awards. I already told you that he is the recipient of highest civilian award of India, that is Bharat Ratna. Other than Bharat Ratna, what he is awarded with? Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. In 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan, check here, was awarded another, again same point. Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded with Bharat Ratna, and Bharat Ratna, again I'm telling, is what? The highest civilian award in India, with the coveted award resting on his chest. Coveted is what? Much desired. Resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with rare happiness, he said. What did he say? All I would like to say is his message to people, his message, Ustad Bismillah Khan's message to people is teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our music. This is what he has his advice for Indian people. Check here on the last page. In spite of having travelled all over the world, Khan Saab, as he is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Banaras and Dumrao, and they remain for him the most wonderful towns of the world. Okay, Banaras and Dumrao in Bihar are his favorite places. He would never leave India. Check here, two incidents are here. One is this. A student of his once wanted him to head a Shehnai school in USA. He offered him that he should come to USA. He should go to USA and start with his Shehnai school. And the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. But Khan Sahib asked him if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. His student promised that he would create the atmosphere of Banaras. He would build some temples there which would give him the feel of Banaras. But what Khan Sahib said, okay, you would build temples, you would get me the feel of Banaras, but how would you get what? How would you transport what? Transport river Ganga there. And we all know river Ganga plays an inspirational role in the life of Ustad Bismillah Khan. See here, second incident. Later he is remembered to have said, that is why whenever I am in foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think of only Banaras and holy Ganga. And while in Banaras, I miss the unique Matha of Dumrao. He say in Hindustan, when he is in Mumbai, he miss Banaras and holy Ganga. And when he is in Banaras, he miss what? The Matha of Dumrao, yogurt. Matha is what? Dahi or yogurt. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India. One that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim, check here, devout Muslim, the one who strongly believes in his religion, like him can very naturally play Shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. Okay, a Muslim, a strong believer of a Muslim religion, here what gives a perfect example, is actually a perfect example of rich heritage of India, because he would effortlessly go there, very naturally would play the music at Kashi Vishwanath temple. And this is what is the beauty of India. When it comes to art, no religion is over art. See here the conversation between Shekhar Gupta and Bismillah Khan. The chapter is over, but what happened when Shekhar Gupta once asked Bismillah Khan? Check here. When partition happened, didn't you and your family think of moving to Pakistan? So what Bismillah Khan replied, why did not he go to Pakistan? When partition happened in 1947, why did he remain in India? So he said, God forbid. Me? Leave Benares? Never. I went to Pakistan once. I crossed the border just to say I have been to Pakistan. I was there for about an hour. I said namaskar to the Pakistani and salam alaikum to all the Indians. I had a good laugh. So we all know now that Bismillah Khan, how much bond he had with India, that he turned down his offer to go to Pakistan. Also he turned down to open the school at USA when his student offered him for as it was a bigger opportunity for him. Anyway, so this was all about Ustad Bismillah Khan and his love for Shehnai, and how he got Shehnai to an international platform or international level. So we are done with this. This was quite a small chapter. You can just go back and revise the chapter again. But check here with the questions, children. These questions, these are short answer questions only for this chapter. There are no long answer questions. You just have to do in your fair copy. All the answers you will find in the chapter itself, right? You can write in your own words. You can take the help of last year copies. You can also use the key points from your NCERT reference book, right? But make sure that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions are done in your fair copy. Okay? I hope you... Okay, I guess this is done for today, and I hope you already have got your PT1 and mock test timetable, right? Please check the circular for that, and please check the circular for your course also. This chapter, Sound of Music, is not the part of PT1 and mock test, okay? You may check the circular for the timetable. Anyway, this is it for today. Thank you so much. Goodbye.